Ignorance, the lack of knowledge or awareness about a certain topic or subject. An example of this would be a time in history when tobacco was first introduced. Many people were ignorant about the long-term effects on their body, actually believing that tobacco was healthy for them. Another example would be a time in history when many people believed that eating Chinese food would make a person look more Chinese. Not only is this ignorant, it's just a tad bit racist. Now, I'm sure both of us, you and I, know that some of these ideals and superstitions we have don't exactly make sense, but we continue believing in them. Why? Maybe the long-time belief is just so hard to give up, or maybe it's just easier believing in that. Ignorance is bliss, after all. Now, let's talk about something people are blatantly ignorant about. There are concentration camps happening in China. To give a little background on the situation, these concentration camps are located in the province Xinjiang, known to have many terrorist attacks over the past decade or so, attacking both civilians and stores alike. To combat the situation, the Chinese government decided to form detention camps for individuals deemed to have terrorist-like tendencies. However, this begs a major question. Who is deemed a terrorist and who isn't? The government's response is to outright categorize and classify an entire ethnic group, the Uyghur Turks. This group predominantly goes by Muslim under the Islamic faith. This approach that the government is taking is to eradicate and eliminate an entire religion from an entire area. This is considered absolute cultural genocide. These concentration camps for Uyghur Turks force these individuals to experience abuse and torment for the refusal of giving up their culture. Reports have been made that these people have been abused and beaten for the refusal of giving up their religion. Some have been beaten for not speaking Chinese, and others have been raped. This torment also includes the destruction of mosques and separations of families. These people have been taken away and kidnapped from their families and loved ones to be re-educated for extremist behaviors. But there has been reports being made that some children as young as a year old have been taken away by the government. How is a child, an infant, that barely knows anything beyond its mother and father, able to commit extremist actions against the government? Why are mosques all around China being completely and utterly destroyed? Why are Muslims in China completely afraid to display their religion proudly? The government's response does not answer this at all. Parents have said that they found their child on online social media platforms speaking Chinese, a language that they were never taught, instead of their mother tongue. Watching these videos online, I quickly decided exactly what platform it was on. Zooming in on the icon and going through a multitude of articles and interviews online, I soon enough discovered exactly what platform it was. TikTok, the ever so rapidly growing social media platform of today. Previously known as Musical.ly in 2017, the Chinese internet company ByteDance bought and rebranded the app as TikTok, quickly gaining popularity all across America among teens. However, this brought mass concern due to the Chinese censorship policies happening in China. The Chinese Communist Party is known to censor controversial topics that are different than their own. A prime example of this would be the Hong Kong protests and Twitter scandal. Keywords such as Hong Kong, HK, and extradition bill was led to other news sources. Keywords such as Hong Kong, HK, and extradition bill was led to other entertainment news sources and official news sources. Accounts posting protests regarding the matter was also completely blocked. The censorship of certain topics completely leaves these Chinese citizens completely in the dark. They do not know about the issues happening within their own country. Article 35 of the Chinese Constitution states to have freedom of speech. However, with the mass censorship of the internet, it isn't exactly freedom of speech. Now you may be wondering exactly why isn't anyone doing anything about this? Or maybe you're just completely apathetic towards the entire situation since this isn't involving your country. However, I'd like to say the policies that China makes certainly do impact us. Xinjiang is home to 84% of the country's cotton export materials to other Chinese manufacturers, according to the Citizen Power initiatives from China. Now, referring back to where these concentration camps are located at, they're also located in Xinjiang. These concentration camps are known to force these individuals to assimilate to Chinese culture, and it's very likely, most likely in fact, that they force them through forced labor. Chinese textile production is by far the largest source for America. Many of these Chinese clothing manufacturers is some of the clothing brands you wear today, such as Disney, Adidas, Ralph Lauren, and Tommy Hilfigers, meaning the clothes you wear right now could be the product of forced labor. Now, having all of this said, what exactly can you do? Buying ethically or shopping secondhand can help reduce the problem. This will pressure businesses. For example, with the trend of thrifting, many aware individuals do not like to participate in the fast fashion retails because of the shady deals behind the brand. Another point would be bringing awareness to the situation. Many individuals aren't aware exactly about what's happening in these concentration camps or where they're located. This awareness will essentially pressure the government into taking action, forcing the citizens to cause an uproar. However, I'd like to say the reality of the situation is not as optimistic. Businesses used cheap forced labor for better profit. And let's be real, no business likes to lose money. Shopping ethically can be pretty expensive for your everyday consumer since it's not as cheap anymore. The UN has conflicting reactions towards this situation. Xinjiang is home to China's major economy, and if you shut down China's economy, this essentially will force other countries to take effect. In Geneva last summer, 24 Western countries, along with Japan, banded together at the Human Rights National Council to call on to close these detention camps. However, no one country was willing to be its organizer. With the amount of power China has and the desires of other countries, it is very unlikely that these concentration camps will be closed. I hope one day by spreading awareness, people will learn about this situation and maybe present better solutions than the ones I have presented thus far. However, in today's society, ignorance is bliss after all. Thank you.